Our Field Manual 1067-1, Section Chapter 12, Storage Tank Cleaning, Section 3. Our vapor-free contaminating cleaning tanks are organizational maintenance activities to exception for the cleaning fixed tank that apply with the roof, rusty proofing the coatings and inside the strip of the responsibility of the facility engineer. The cleaning fixed tank without a problem with the motor pool, the service station, aircraft fueling systems are also responsible for the facility engineer. The tank should not be cleaned unless it's absolutely necessary for the drain. The vapor-free with the cleaning of the tank, the file with the actions and takes place. Inspection, military standard 457 state that the storage should be inspected periodically with physical entry. The meaning of the inspector will go inside of the tank with a duty. The inspection tank should be cleaned before the inspection takes place. When the inspection may depends on whether or not the inspection inside of the tank are coated with whether or not incoming fuel is pumped in the filter. Separate C table 12-2 for more information. Frequency of physical entry, so inspections inside tank coated the filter separator on using the incoming fuel and frequency of an inspection. Repair storage tank should be drained vapor free clean for the bringing of the repair tank inside outside of the requiring welding. You the tools ignite vapor. The tank should be cleaned whenever it is necessary for the enter of the tank of the Malinky repairs. Fuel contamination storage tank should be cleaned after the necessary to maintain fuel quality. Military standard 457 states. Samples should be taken with the active tank at least every 30 days. The sample should be taken less active tank at least every 180 days. Laboratory shots should be the fuel of the main being contaminated by rust and dirt in tank. Tank should be cleaned with the test should show that the fuel is being contaminated by bacteria. Tank lines should be flushed. Fresh clean water after the bacteria reappear with the later test. The tank should be really clean. Sludge buildup. Dirt comes in wax with the resin set out of the fuel and the carbon storage tank. The sludge is contained collected from the bottom of the tank. The when the sludge is hardened, it forms a heel and cannot be pumped out. But the heel remain with the tank when the tank is emptied and filled. The heavier and the darker the fuel, the more sludge it left behind. Fuel pumped in and out on the top of the layer. Sludge can be contaminated when the bottom sample that show the fuel contamination. When the gagging reveals too much of the sludge has built up with the tank, shall be cleaned. Change of product. The tank should be used to store only one kind of fuel with a quantity that can be maintained. The strip of the tank if it has been changed with the one fuel to another tank should be cleaned before pumping the new fuel. Military Handbook 200, Table 5 for the guidelines. Note the strip of the tank must be upgraded with gradually pumping into the higher quality of the prevent sleep pumped into the tank. The fuel contamination will always resolve the stress. Upgraded. There should never be. It should be taken into consideration before a decision is made. Use the method to change serve of the method, which should never be used to make radical change. For example, the message should not be used to change the tank serve of the diesel fuel to avgas. Remove the tank from service. If the decision made to take the storage tank out of service for longer than 4 months, the following action should be taken. All concrete tanks should be cleaned. Fuel tanks should be the stored fuel with diesel fuel. Lubricating oil should be cleaned. They should be coated with the same product. They are contained with the preserve of the metal. The stage tanks with the storage gasoline, jet, kerosene, and should be cleaned and then coated with the general purpose lubricating oil field federal specification BBL 800 preserve the metal. Steel tanks dismantled should be cleaned and coated with the general purpose lubricating oil. No, if not necessary to coat a tank, that was taken down and moved into the site for responsibility. Reactivation of the tank. The decision to put an inactive tank back in the service of the following action should be taken. The seal tank should have stood empty for some time, should be cleaned and remove the rust which may have formed in the inside. Seal tanks were covered with lubricating oil should be cleaned before they are removed with stored gasoline, jet, or fuel kerosene. Inactive tanks where ballasted with water and fuel should be cleaned and remove the rust and sludge. Facility engineer duties. When there is reason to justify cleaning of the tank, the facility is notified. The facility engineer should determine the need to enter any tank that has been used to store lead fuel. Determine the need to enter any other tank capable of holding 100,000 or more barrels of fuel. Make sure there is a safety equipment and set available for use. Obtain serve the safety of engineer experience with the tank cleaning. Safety engineer should be present with the tank contaminated leaded fuel is entered. Safety engineer should also present when any tank capable of holding 1,000 more barrels of fuel is entered. Request medical assistance. Advise the Surgeon General AR 201 if necessary. Obtain service of the contractor clean tank. Local demand for the tank cleaning is so infrequently that the local workforce cannot maintain level of expertness in AR 420-49. The contractor should be instructed to provide all equipment and take all precautions necessary to protect life, health, and property. Cleaning detail supervisor duties. Cleaning detail supervisors oversee all cleaning operations. Cleaning supervisors shall gather the following information each kind of fuel stored in the tank. Reason for the cleaning of the tank. Condition of the tank and any repairs to be made. Amount of corrosion sludge presented in the tank. Last day of the tank was clean. How well it was cleaned. Training with a clean detail. The training must include the instruction of the dangers involving tank cleaning, the use of the safety equipment, safe precautions applying to tank cleaning, prepare a fire plan for the tank. Everyone should know what is suspected in him in the event of a fire explosion. Delegate various jobs to a specific member of the cleaning detail. Make sure at least 2 details have recently been trained and tested cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Determine whether or not every member of the detail is good physical condition and be able to working when the tank workers are tired or sick will develop more problems inside the tank. Inspect all safety equipment to make sure they're good condition, ready for use. Make sure firefighting equipment is nearby. Arrange safety disposal sleds, Sierra AR 201. Contract if necessary, use the vacuum truck to remove sludge, haul it into the disposal area. Furnish the environmental engineering with information tank and sludge disposal. Obtain safety permit. Examine the area around the tank to make sure all sources of the ignition have been removed. Make sure the tank is isolated before starting cleaning operation. Be present during the cleaning operation to provide instruction guidance. Make sure that no one enters the tank until the vapor readings are in the safe zone. Tell members of the cleaning detail to leave the tank if they smell fuel vapors. Alright, tools and equipment addition for the safety equipment clothing already described. Other tools and equipment are needed to clean the tank. Make sure the following items hand before starting cleaning operation. Blind flanges, fire 8 blinds to provide positive shut-off of the tank. Pump to move the sludge from the tank bottom of the tank vehicle. The tank vehicle is a vacuum truck that carries sludge to the disposal site. Air adductor ejector to raw fuel vapors out of the tank. Blowers and fan that drive the fuel vapors out of the tank. Shovels and scrape at the wire brush for the buckets and wheelbarrows. Long handle push brooms. Scrub brushes, squeegees, and mops. Tools, washcloth, bath soap for each member of the cleaning detail. Water hose, nozzle, disinfection, and face mask, clean rags, and airtight metal cans to store oily rags until they can be destroyed. First aid kits, wrench, and tools necessary to blank off the tank. Enter the tank, tighten loose tank accessories. Warn signs to post during tank cleaning. Safe painting kit, yellow paint kit, essential tank after cleaning. Ladders and scaffold to reach up areas of the tank shell. Detergent, cleaning, and solvent, and kerosene. Alright, isolating tank. Before vapor freeing, the cleaning operation can begin, the tank should be isolated. The tank should become completely cut off with the rest of the terminal pipeline system. There should be no accidentally pumping fuel into the tank. There should also be no way to fuel vapor drift back into the tank after it has been vapor freed. To isolate the tank, to follow these steps. Use the lowest tank connection pump of the drain with as much fuel as possible out of the tank. If necessary, pump with enough water to cover the top of the tank at the bottom. When the fuel is left with the sludge, if it had not been hardened, will float to the top of the water. The pump is liquid sludge to the tank vehicle and then draw off the water. Do not allow the oily water to spill on the ground. Be aware that some of the tanks, especially underground ones, have permanently installed sump pumps for moving liquid sludge. Some may even have their own sludge disposal system, pipe sludge to a disposal area. Never pump water into a concrete tank. Close the valves outside of the free firewall on all lines going to and from the tank. It has a sign to each valve, warning workers not to open the valves. Drain flush all lines in the tank. Break all lines. Remove the valves near the tank. Replace the valves either with a 8 blind flanges or a figure 8 blinds, as shown in figure 12.7 and page 12.22. Make sure the solid half of the figure 8 blind is down in the line. The figure 8 blind holders have more permanently installed near the tank. It is not necessary to remove the valves. Reverse the blind so that the solid half closes off the line. At the blank ends of the blind should be strong enough to withstand any of the pressure that might be exerted in the line. Respirators should be warm when blanking lines to tanks when they are used to store lead fuels and crude oils. Alright, 12 shown over the blind flange and the figure 8 blind. Vapor-free tanking. Vapor-free is actually the complete replacement of the fuel vapors in the tank with fresh air. The tank is usually considered the vapor-free with a concentration of fuel vapors below the toxic combustible level. The vapor-free is a dangerous operation. Workers often open the manholes, clean out the doors, laid fuel with the crude oil. The tank should be wear separate respirators. No, it should be in the area when the tank during the vapor freeing, except for those who approach the tank from time to time to conduct vapor tests. Several methods are used for the vapor freeing tank. Some of the methods are better than others. The methods usually depend on the kind of tank that being cleaned with the situation. Natural ventilation. Natural ventilation airing easiest method to use. The main advantage of the natural force of these require little or no equipment and no outside power source. However, they have some of the disadvantages. Methods first take longer than other methods. The concentration of vapors inside of the tank explodes the toxins for a longer period of time. Vapor may collect at ground level outside of the tank, creating another hazard for the second. The method is not impractical underground tank Because of the lack of the natural circulation to ventilate, tank naturally remove the roof manhole cover, remove the tank shell manhole cover, the clean out door, allow the air to circulate freely through the tank, take vapor readings periodically, start sludge removal so the tank is vapor free. Alright, forced ventilation using the outside forces directly flow into the air into the tank at the speed of the vapor freeing with the process of the most commonly used method. The two methods of the forced ventilation with the tank blower or fan method. The blower or fan usually installed with the tank shell manhole clean outdoor is used to blow the fresh air into the tank. The fuel vapors escape through the roof manhole. Blower of the fan may be steam turbine, gasoline engine, electrical motor driven. The gasoline powered units should be located away from the tank on the windward side. They should be equipped with a spark arrestor. Canvas ducts are used to carry the air to the tank, and the electrical motor driven units should be explosion proof to use the blower or the fan. 2. Open the tank shell manhole, clean outdoors, set up gasoline engine powered units away from the tank, back into the ducts, ground to the tank opening, mount the other units of the tank opening when using the method vapor free. Underground tanks attach the blower to the pipe leading to the tank bottom, or the ducts to the hose line. The ducts to the hose lines are fed through the roof opening to the tank bottom. Or remove the roof manhole, cover the strip of the blower, and ventilate with the tank blower until the vapor readings are in safe zone. The air injector with the ejector method. Air injector ejector is used to withdraw fuel vapors out of the top of the tank of the unit is installed with the roof manhole. The fresh air is allowed with the engine of the tank shell manhole or clean outdoor with the UV the air injector and inductor. Open roof manhole, install the unit, operate unit, create pressure differential between the inside and outside of the tank. Use the low setting at the point to avoid creating a vacuum. Open pressure differential has been established. Open the tank shell manhole, clean outdoor. This allows the fresh air to be drawn into the tank. Underground tanks open pipes leading into the bottom of the tank. Operate until the full speed until the tank is vapor free. Or steam ventilation. The method of steam display for the fuel vapor to steam ventilation may have many disadvantages with the discourage with except for the tank where iron sulfate is now and not known to be present on large diameter of steel. It is not effective with however the effective with the tank truck with the rail cars. Disadvantages are generate static electricity with the vapor, slow method of producing enough steam to display fuel vapors in large tanks is difficult. The temperature must be at least 170 degrees Fahrenheit to prevent condensation. The temperature is difficult to maintain in cold weather. Steam damages linings, coated tanks, causes cracks in concrete tanks, so they should never be used in vapor-free concrete tank. Water displacement method. Use the water to take place of fuel vapors in the tank. Fuel vapors except that the tank is filled to the overflowing. Only water produced as a process has been treated before disposal of water displacement. Practical small tanks only should not be used in areas where water supplies are limited. Alright, in your vapor test, periodic vapor tests are made before vapor-freeing operations. They are made to explosive meter and necessary hydrogen sulfide detective tester is made to check with the progress of the vapor-freeing vapor testing or connect with it during the tank cleaning operation. Make sure the tank is safe for the members of the cleaning in detail. Check the vapor test. Read the manufacturer's manual paragraphs on explosive meter hydrogen sulfide detector in this section. Where respiratory approach on open clean outdoor tank shell manhole. Insert the probe through the door shown figure 1218, page 1224. The first reading in the air where the vapors are leaving the tank. Do not enter the tank at this time. 7 of the tank. Take the readings when the readings are open and fall to 14%. Hold the probe in about 1 foot above the sledge. Turn off the fan blowers and ductors. While testing, go to the true sample of the air in the tank. Warning if samples are being taken with a hydrogen sulfide detector not enter the tank until the readings of the door are at below 4.3% explosive limit of the hydrogen sulfide. Take samples off the various points of the inside of the tank. Leave the tanks between the tests of the flush out with the explosive meter with fresh air. And reset to zero. Put a new glass tube in the hydrogen sulfide detector for each test. Repeat the test. Explosive meter reading below the tax limit of 4%. Of the samples also being taken with the hydrogen sulfide detector. Repeat the test with the detector until the readings are at or below the toxic limit of 200,000%. You need to take samples after the members of the cleaning detail have entered the tank and sludge removal operation. Additional fuel vapors may be trapped in the sludge. The vapors should be released from the sludge if disturbed. If the readings are dangerous level, the members of the cleaning detail should leave the tank. They should not re-enter the tank until the readings are again in the safe zone. 1218 show the vapor testing at the clean outdoor. Cleaning operation. After the tank has been declared vapor-free, the members of the cleaning detail must usually enter the tank, beginning with the cleaning operation. Some of the underground tanks may be and not be entered. The tanks may be cleaned using the method described in paragraph on the cleaning uncoated tanker car, tank vehicles, chapter chain, page 12.8 for the cleaning tanks to do allow the entry. Sensible warning sign near the entrance of the tank used with a store load, let it feel wear respirator with the tank, use forced ventilation until the tank has been cleaned down in the bare metal. Before starting the work, inspect the inside of the tank, loose fixture, repair the tank if necessary. Lower the swivel joint, drain pipe into the tank floor, high pressure water hose, dislodge sludge, loose rust, and scale. Continue high test vapor test. Leave the tank of the reading showing the toxic concentration with the fuel vapor since it takes more time to leave the underground tank than an above ground tank. Increase of the concentration of fuel vapors in the underground tank should be detected quickly. Lay a suction hose in the tank of the pumping assembly with a pump liquid sludge in the tank vehicle as shown in figure 1219. And the vacuum truck is being used. The pumping assembly is not necessary. Brush sweep, scrape remaining sludge holes into the pile, shove it into the buckets and wheelbarrows. Use wire brush to scrape it to remove the rust and scaffold the uncoated surface over the tank walls, floor, using scaffold ladders to get into the out of the reach areas, exposed sludge and debris. Clean the tank and fixtures of support. If necessary, drill small holes at the bottom holes to the structure with support. Flush them on the top of the water and allow it to drain. Scrub the walls and floor with a kerosene cleaning solvent with detergents if necessary. Do not damage the tank coatings. Rinse over the wall. Floor with the water, mop all the water, wipe dry with lint-free wags. 1219 shows the pumping sludge to the tank. Are the cleaning detail supervisor or any of the disposal of the sludge? All activities should be coordinated with environmental engineering, who job is consider the effect of the impact of the disposal of the sludge have on the environment. The method used to get rid of the sludge should not damage the environment or harm humans or animals. AR 210. For the reason sludge cannot be buried or carelessly dumped on the ground. Unleaded non-hydrogen sulfide sludge that does not contain lead or hydrogen sulfide. Other harmful chemicals can be disposed of off by farming or weathering. Farming sludge can be farmed at its selected site. These sites should be leveled with well-drained, well-ventilated areas. Sign with the sludge should be held on the site, evenly distributed with the ground plowed into the top of soil later. Land can be used to grow crops. Weathering sludge can be within the selected site, similar with the evening of farming. Even layer of the sludge 3 inches deep of the spread of the ground with holes and rakes and shovel. The area should be roped off with warning signs put up. Sludge should be left undistributed 4 weeks no longer. If the temperature is below freezing, the rope sign can be taken down after the weathering is complete. Sludge can then be left there and can be hauled away. Alright, lead and hydrogen sulfide sludge that contains lead, hydrogen sulfide, other harmful chemicals can be disposed of by controlled burning or depositing at specified sites. Controlled burning, harmful sludge can be burned in high-intensity heat furnaces that do not give off emissions. Depositing at a specified site, and sludge can be taken to hazardous material disposal site with sites, especially designated areas which have been set aside permanently with the disposal of dangerous substances. This is nuclear waste, toxic chemical, but the disposal sites must be approved by EPA. All trucks used to transport sludge must be approved by state and federal agencies certified to issue for each of the vehicles. After cleaning, certain tasks should be done while the cleaning details finish with mopping up of the tank. If the job is not complete until the final tasks are done, tools and equipment, so for the rag and the broom, use the clean lead, fuel, and crude oil with the sludge from these tanks. Thoroughly clean all the other tools and equipment with soap and the water. Use kerosene if necessary to disinfect the face mask. Allow all pieces of the safe equipment to sit dry before storing them. Our pumping assembly, cleaning and pumping assembly, putting the end of the suction over the barrel of the drum of the clean water, attached to the hose of the water faucet with a couple over the water hose. So the pump is necessary to turn on the water, run the pump until the pump hose have been thoroughly flushed with water. Dispose of the water in a way that is not harmful to the environment. Put the end of the suction over the end of the drum container and solve the flush of the pump hose with 1 or 2 gallons of solvent. Drain the solvent from the pump and the hose. Stencil signs. Use yellow paint to stencil. Cleaning day of the tank near the tank shell, manhole, or clean outdoor. Tank ballast weight, and steel tanks are being taken out for the hurricane area to prevent them from being blown away. Ballast empty steel tanks, flood areas to prevent them from floating away. Note, ballasting is not a common practice. It should be done only in the past experience has shown it to be necessary. Light fuels and water and rust inhibitors can be used for ballast. Water should not be used as ballast areas where there is a chance that it will freeze. Also, other ballast is available. Water should not be pumped into tanks which will be stored in gasoline, jet fuel, or kerosene. Hygiene. At the end of each workday, at the end of the job, make sure all members of the cleaning detail bath with the soap and water and clean change and clean clothes. DA form 4177. Complete DA form 4177 entering the cleaning date and any other important facts. Section 4. Tanker car and tank vehicle cleaning.